The men of our generation are unhappy. They believe the one true path to fulfillment is getting a new car, some money, a girl. They reach a level of success. They get that girl they've been thirsting over for the past few months. They buy that new car. They even start to make a decent amount of money. A month goes by though and they start lusting over a new woman. The car they've bought is dirty and old now, and the money they've got has only given them an expensive taste. The cycle continues until they die. They never reach fulfillment. But the men of our tribe are different. We've looked into our souls and seen that money, success and fame do nothing more than disrupt our tranquility. We've meditated for hours and found our one true purpose in life, our one calling, and we work every single day relentlessly to achieve it. We don't desire a new car, a new woman, more money, because we've already built a deep desire for the things that we already have. We're not waiting for anything to complete us, and so we're always fulfilled. The men of our tribe die enlightened. You have to realign your values, bro. If you can watch this video from start to end with no distractions, no suggestive videos, no comments, then I can teach you how to reevaluate your life, how to achieve true happiness and fulfillment. I first learned about this when I read A Guide to the Good Life by Irvine. It's a book on Stoic philosophy which closely follows the philosophy of Seneca, Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius. The first chapter is one of the most interesting in my opinion. It's called Negative Visualization and it's about this thing called hedonic adaptation. It basically says, and it cites two psychologists that studied this, that a person reaches a certain level of happiness once they achieve certain things and then goes back to a baseline. So it uses the example of a lottery winner and basically shows through a study that it was found that once a person wins the lottery, after about 2 months, after they've bought their nice car, they've bought their new house, they go back to a similar level of happiness as they had before they ever won it. The book calls this the hedonic treadmill or hedonic adaptation, but the basic concept is that once you achieve something, you start to want another thing again. I mean, something it said that sat quite deeply with me was that you've achieved your dream life 1,000 times already. And that kind of rings true because here I am right now in Australia with a girl who I love, making videos that I enjoy so much, but still, deep down somewhere there's a discontentment and a desire for more. That's the problem with the hedonic treadmill. You can achieve the world, but you'll still desire things. I mean, David Dida also talks about this in The Way of the Superior Man. I think it's actually in the first chapter, but he talks about never waiting for completion. He basically says that the modern man lives with a series of and then this. So he'll say, next month I'll earn more money and then I can pursue my passion. Next month I'll have the money to buy a car and then I'll be happy. I'll buy a house and then I'll be happy. Modern man, Data states, is constantly in search of a completion to his life. He's never content and stable with what he has. Man today is waiting for something in life and that makes him live passively. Data has this exercise he suggests people do. And it goes something like this. It basically says, spend an hour today doing what you would do if you had unlimited money. So ask yourself the question, if I had unlimited money, what action would I be pursuing? And today, spend an hour trying to achieve that goal. He says for most things, and I kind of agree with this, creativity is the only barrier, not your money. And I've got another quote here from Marcus Aurelius. And what you have to understand about him was, he was literally a Roman emperor, right? He had more money, more status, more success than any of us could ever imagine. And he was writing about material acquisition and how meaningless it was. And I've got a quote here by him, and it basically says, "You see how few things there are, which if a man acquires, he is able to live a life which flows in quiet, and is like the existence of the gods." And I mean, what he meant by this is you really don't need much to be happy. And this is an emperor saying this, someone who has literally everything in life, palaces, servants, everything. He's saying, really none of it matters. What you need in life is a roof over your head, someone to love, food on your table. With that, you can be happy. So how do we take action once we know this? And the first step is to find your purpose. And if you haven't found your purpose, then your purpose right now is to find that purpose. You need something which has inherent value to you. Something that if you had no monetary success out of it would still bring you value. Once you've done this, you can start focusing on the means and not the end and stop living that life of and then I'll be happy. If you have a true purpose, something with inherent value, you'll enjoy and have a sense of achievement over the process of it, not just the end goal. I mean, some people make their purpose in life material accumulation, and that is a massive issue because it's never going to make you happy. It's a distraction for the suffering, but it's not a real way out of it. Purpose and having a true meaning in life is the only real way out. And like Marcus Aurelius said, right, you don't need much in life to be happy. Because I can tell you right now, the answer isn't a girl. It's not money. It's not any of these material things. You'll achieve those in time. You'll have 1,000 times in your life where you'll reach the level of material accumulation that you wished for months ago. Man was made to create though. He was made to shape the world, not just live in it. And until he does that, he will live an unfulfilled life. David Dida talks about this. He says, man's one true mission is to give his gift. And if man doesn't give his gift, then he lives an unfulfilled life. Here's the thing, right? And let's take these videos for an example. Some of them do well, some of them do poorly, but that isn't what really matters. What really matters is the process that goes into making them. That's what really shapes me and grows me as a man. Every time I wake up at 6 a.m, every time I read a book to relay its message to you, every time I take a cold shower before work, anytime I intermittent fast while I'm working, those are the things that grow me as a man, not the views the video gets. And I mean, that is the power of discovering your purpose. It's the action that even if it brings you no monetary success, it still grows you as an individual. And I mean, the actual actionable step that the book recommends during this chapter is called negative visualization. But essentially it's the process of imagining you've lost certain things so you can learn to appreciate them again. Take an example, right? Someone wants a new car. They've got a car at the moment, but its engine doesn't work great, it stalls frequently, its air conditioning's a bit shit and its radio doesn't work. So they sit there and they spend most of their time thinking about new cars. They research new cars, 0% finance APRs, they're trying to find the best bang for their buck. They're saving every penny they can to afford a new car. Wouldn't that man be better off though just desiring the car he has at the moment? It still gets him from A to B, it still works. So why does he not just desire that? And the Stoics had an answer for this. If you can stop and you can think for a second about loss, you'll learn to appreciate the things you already own. Because here's the thing, having that car is still better than the man having no car at all. And if you could stop and think for a second about how terrible it would be if he had nothing, the fact that he'd have to start commuting a different way into work, the fact that he'd have to do so many different things if he didn't have this will make him learn to appreciate that car more. And you can do this with anything really. You can do it with the roof over your head. You can do it with the water that comes out of your tap. You can do it with literally anything. If you practice this negative visualization technique, you can literally learn to appreciate your own body, your own health. Because we never do that. We show no gratitude towards the most fundamental part of our life, which is our health. And negative visualization goes further, right? Because you can start doing this with people and you can start doing it with yourself. The Stoics recommend you spend a moment every single day imagining the death of your loved ones. Imagine your mother dying, your father dying, your siblings dying, your girlfriend dying. And I promise you'll appreciate them so much more. And you can do this with your own life as well. You can think about your own death and thus have so much more of an impetus to live. There was this concept by Marcus Aurelius and it was memento mori. It meant remember your mortality. Essentially remember the fact that you're going to die. Because if you remember that you're going to die every single day, you will live each day as if it's your last. You will live each moment as if it's your last, and thus you will get so much more out of it. Once you put these things into perspective, once you start to appreciate your parents, your family, your girlfriend, your own life, the possessions that you have, you can stop desiring new material accumulation. And once you can stop desiring new things, you can free yourself from so much suffering and really allow your mind to follow its purpose so much more. Another recommendation the Stoics had to achieve this happiness was called self-denial. And we spoke about it a bit in the Live Like a Spartan video, right? But basically what it means is to choose to deny yourself certain things so that you appreciate them more. Because here's the thing, there's a lot of stuff in your life that you take for granted, right? Your bed, your friends, your fucking water, I don't know. And if you can deny yourself some of those things on a day, you can appreciate them so much more the next day. So for example, sleep on the floor, right? And the next day you'll appreciate your bed so much more. Eat a bowl of rice and the next day you'll appreciate your food so much more. Do these things and actually do them, right? Take those actionable steps. They sound like jokes, but genuinely sleep on the floor, right? And see how much more comfy your bed seems the next day. Self-denial is a really powerful way to learn to appreciate the things you have so much. If you can deny yourself your current possessions, you can learn to desire them. And once you've built a desire for your own things, you can start having novel desires, and that's the true way to unlock happiness. So that's basically it. You need to find your purpose. You need to start committing to a practice of negative visualization, and you need to start denying yourself of certain possessions that you own periodically, just to build a gratitude and appreciation for what you already have. Anyway, thanks for watching the video, guys. Leave a like, leave a comment. You'll find those right under the subscribe button. And join the Discord. It's a great place full of men just like you who are trying to better themselves, improve themselves. Anyway, thanks for watching the video. Manifest excellence. Goodbye.